Party, bent out of shape by the decisive action taken by Prime Minister Modi under the ambit of Operation Sindoor, has decided to declare war on its own MP, Shashi Tharoor, and by extension, the nation, our India, our Bharat. You've all been commenting and appreciating Tharoor for setting aside partisan politics and praising the NDA government's response to the dastardly provocation by Pakistan as he leads delegation to present India's case abroad. And he has traversed, viewers, to the United States, and from there now he's in South America. He's traveling far and wide, and he has with him, of course, other parliamentarians, and you can see those visuals of Shashi Tharoor in different places over the last few days. What is he doing, viewers? He's presenting India's case abroad so that nation states, when Pakistan tries to lobby them, shut the door on Islamabad. Tharoor has been a pillar of patriotism. But the Congress is upset. It is mighty upset, and it has unleashed its agents provocateurs to run Tharoor down. Sample this specimen, viewers. Specimen, I don't mean the individual, I mean the sentiment. Listen to this sentiment, viewers. First, look at the body language of this person, and then look at what he says. Listen.
शशि थरूर जी बीजेपी के सुपर प्रवक्ता हैं, जो बीजेपी के लोग नहीं कह पा रहे हैं। मोदी जी की चमचागिरी या मोदी जी का गुणगान जितना वो नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, और बीजेपी के लोग उससे ज़्यादा शशि थरूर कर रहे हैं। शशि थरूर को पता है कि पहले की सरकारों ने क्या किया। पहले की सरकारें ढोल नहीं पीटती थी। ये मोदी जी जैसा नहीं कि करेंगे नहीं और प्रचार करेंगे और सेखी बघारेंगे और उसका लाभ लेंगे। सेना की कार्यवाही का लाभ लेने के लिए कांग्रेस पार्टी उसको पब्लिक डिक्लेयर नहीं करती थी।
Because he's sitting on a Congress platform and he's looking pained. He's looking very pained. He's looking pained because today the world is listening to people from his own party who are speaking for India. And if the Congress professes to be the guardian of the national interest, why does Tharoor's praise for India rile the Congress party? The reason is that the Congress is heaping scorn on Tharoor because his logical, fact-based, guileless statements presenting Operation Sindoor in the fair light it deserves to be seen is politically inconvenient for the Congress. It is politically inconvenient, viewers. Everything Tharoor says, and remember, he's also the chief of the Parliament Standing Committee and therefore carries a lot of weight, undermines the Congress's criticism of the Modi government, leaving the Gandhis and other Congress functionaries looking foolish and opportunistic. Now, I'll give you a sample. On the 23rd of May, Shashi Tharoor said, and pay attention, you're aware of our government's stand very clearly. During any crisis, there's always contact with those countries that call and reach out. There's been no formal process of mediation, either requested or conducted. You call me, I tell you what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and that's it. Then if you want to go and repeat that to somebody else and they take certain consequences as a result of that, is that called mediation? I don't think so. Not in my vocabulary, unquote. This is a man, viewers, who understands foreign policy, who's dealt at that level. And then you have, of course, viewers, the Jairam Rameshs who've never sort of been conversant with the mores of diplomacy. And he says, Mr. Latnik follows in the footsteps of President Trump himself, who made this assertion 8 times in 11 days in 3 different countries. The US Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has echoed the same and also mentioned a neutral site for talks between India and Pakistan. Pradhan Mantri, chuppi todo, unquote. Chuppi todo. Viewers, This man Trump has been described by Putin and other world leaders as a lunatic. But not for the Congress viewers. For the Congress, Tharoor is a lunatic, the chamcha. Isn't that the word they just use, chamcha? But Trump, viewers, is the gospel of truth. May 20th, Mallikarjun Kharge said, if you had told these tourists not to go there, those 26 lives would have been saved. He's referring to the Prime Minister. These chutput wars with Pakistan wouldn't have happened. Viewers, Shashi Tharoor contradicts him. Not directly. He didn't mean it as a contradiction to Kharge. He was asked a question. He said, I don't work for the government, as you know. I work for an opposition party, but I myself authored an op-ed in one of India's leading papers within a couple of days saying that the time had come to hit hard and hit smart, and I'm pleased to say that's exactly what India did. It hit hard and it hit smartly. May 27th, viewers, just 24 or 36 hours back to be absolutely precise, Shashi Tharoor said in the Kargil conflict, India did not cross the LOC, but in 2019, India went a step further. Not only crossed the LOC, but also struck Pakistan. Today, viewers, Pawan Khera, viewers, who was so rubbed the wrong way, came out and said 6 surgical strikes were conducted during the UPA regime across the LOC, but those were never publicized. Now, viewers, I think you all know, and you've probably gone over the material, but a few years back, the IF in Parliament had come out and made a statement that there has not been a cross-LOC strike. And the only ones, there is no record, is the word they used, before 2019, 2018. Now listen to the eloquence of the man himself in question. In his own words, listen to Shashi Tharoor before I open this up, viewers.
What has changed in recent years is that the terrorists have also realized they will have a price to pay. On that, let there be no doubt. When, for the first time, India breached the line of control between India and Pakistan to conduct a surgical strike on a terror base, a launch pad, the Uri strike in September 2015, that was already something we had not done before. Even during the Kargil war, we had not crossed the line of control. This time, we have gone beyond both of those. We have not only gone beyond the line of control and the international border, we have struck at the Punjabi heartland of Pakistan. Our Director General of Military Operations got a call from the Pakistani Director General of Military Operations saying they'd like to stop this. No one sitting in Pakistan is going to be allowed to believe that they can just walk across the border and kill our citizens with impunity. There will be a price to pay.
And it's not just Tharoor, let's be honest, the likes of Owaisi and Khurshid, who's also, of course, a Congress party member and no fan of Modi, also selected to represent India as part of the other delegations. They've also stood admirably with the nation in this hour of trial and tribulation. By declaring war on the likes of Tharoor, the Congress is declaring war on the nation itself, viewers. As it is, in the past too, the Congress has been found wanting in its commitment to safeguarding the national interest. The BJP has been putting out archival documents to show when the Congress gave India's enemies the upper hand. And viewers, these are available for anyone. And these are hard facts. Whether the BJP puts them out or someone from Pakistan puts them out, the facts won't change. On the UNSC seat, a letter dated August 2nd, 1955, written by Nehru, viewers, no one else, to Chief Ministers of India, refers to an informal offer to India to become a permanent member of the UNSC. But Nehru in the letter makes it clear that though India was deserving, it won't grab it at the expense of China, which it considered to be the greater country, which was also a candidate for the same seat. Viewers, can you believe that? Imagine if we had been permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, where we would have been today in comparison. Yeah, exactly. You know, there are people, we'll open this up, viewers, in just a few moments. In 1963, the deal on the agreement to cede land US State Department telegram on Nehru's proposal to Pakistan via Foreign Minister Swaran Singh, and I quote, Swaran Singh, in presenting the government of India proposed, described it a line of peace and collaboration, one which accorded with ethnic and linguistic as well as important economic factors. Broadly speaking, it followed ceasefire line with certain limited adjustments. In the central sector, it straightened out the Poonch sector, and in the Muzaffarabad district, it followed the Baramulla district boundary, thereafter following the line of the Kishanganga watershed to south of Kishanganga Valley, leaving all of the valley and to certain areas to Pakistan. As quid pro quo, there would be adjustments in favor of Indians around Kargil. Yes. Then there was this deal in 1991 where India created an agreement to notify Pakistan about military movements. And I don't have to go into details, it's all there on your screens, viewers. That all information via diplomatic channels would be shared before planned activities, including if there were military activities. Indira's offer to Pakistan, viewers, I have explained in my letter to Prime Minister Bhutto. She told Parliament the peaceful nature and economic purpose of this experiment. She's talking about the nuclear test. And also stated that India is willing to share her nuclear technology with Pakistan. Then, viewers, in March 1987, Rajiv Gandhi pretty much even called upon the United States to intercede in what really was a bilateral relationship. It's all there, viewers. I mean, these are documents you can look up if you have the time. Now let's open this up because we have questions to ask, and these questions are important tonight. And I've given you the context, I've given you the hard facts, all verifiable. And I want to bring in Mr. Jain straight off the bat. Mr. Jain, two questions to you. You've heard your own leader, Mr. Tharoor. He's not on the payrolls of the government. You've heard Manish Tiwari, another member of parliament from the Congress party. You've heard Salman Khurshid, another member of the Congress party close to the Gandhi family. All of them have said that this was a paradigm redefining strike on Pakistan, which has served a huge purpose. And it was, in the words of Shashi Tharoor, and you heard those words, he uttered them, I didn't. He said that they were substantive strikes, not chutput, that we hit hard and we hit smart. So, number one, my first question, let me finish my question, sir. I'll not interrupt you, I promise you. First question, do you agree with Mr. Kharge when he called these chutput strikes? And question number two, please take them both. If the Congress professes to be the guardian of the national interest, why does Tharoor's praise for India irk it so much? Why does it rile the Congress party?
All right, Rahul, I hope I can now respond without any interjection. So first of all, I don't realize why did you have to run the number of points that you did in the package when we were talking about what Dr. Tharoor has said and what Dr. Udit Raj has said in response. But to answer on that, China, first of all, was already a member of the UN Security Council since 1945. So a lot of it is missing the nuanceical historical context into that. So far as the 1991 agreement is concerned, that's a bilateral agreement which happened in the wake of India mobilizing a massive amount of troops, which could have led to a war. And it's an agreement where both the parties, India and Pakistan, have the same rights and the same obligations. So if we have to tell Pakistan any movement like that, Pakistan also has to tell movements like this. Also, that agreement has been in effect for 34 years, and 17 of those years, BJP has been in power, and they've not thought of de-operationalizing it. On your question about Mallikarjun Kharge calling it a chutput strike, personally, I do not agree calling strikes of such nature a chutput strike. Of course, I do also would like to say that the kind of propaganda that the BJP is doing about in terms of what we've damaged with the strikes, I think that is exaggerated. Our forces have done a fabulous job. There's no taking away from that, but I will not call it a chutput strike. But at the same time, I'll also not agree to a lot of what the BJP is saying. And lastly, on the topic of what Dr. Tharoor is saying abroad as part of the all-party delegation, delegation that is representing the Indian state, the Indian government. So, I see Ambassador Vora on the panel. He would tell you that diplomacy is not about, sir would tell you that diplomacy is not about always telling 100% of the truth. It's about saying what serves your national interest best. That may be a lie, that may be the truth, that may be an omission, that may be siding with your opposition party, that may be siding with the ruling party, but you do what your line is. And right now, members of this delegation are towing the government line as they must, as they should. That is what Dr. Tharoor is doing. So far as Dr. Tharoor saying that there were no surgical strikes that were conducted before 2014, I'm not quite sure why he's saying that, because Lieutenant General B.S. Hooda, who was the GOC Northern Command during the 2016 surgical strikes, very clearly said on record that we did conduct surgical strikes of that nature before 2014. Yes, I think officially we never conducted them. Unofficially we did. Again, Ambassador Vora would know of things like that. That is why perhaps Dr. Tharoor made that remark, and that is the whole context of it.
No. Mr. Jain, I gave you the entire play. First of all, you made a factual error. China became a permanent member of the UNSC through Resolution 2758 in 1971.
That's communist China.
Yes, communist China.
Exactly.
1971.
Exactly. ROC was a part since 45.
So hang on. That doesn't matter. It's like saying Taiwan was. Right. So please understand that they were recognizing a China that didn't really exist on paper. Okay. So please understand, don't be too clever by half here. Don't score an own goal at the very beginning. But you didn't answer my simple question about Mr. Tharoor. Why is your party calling this man a super spokesperson of the BJP for articulating a position that you yourself are saying should be articulated? Chamchagiri mein isme kyun aa gaye? Why are you talking about chamchagiri? I am not saying these words. Udit Raj, look at his face. He looks as if, well, what can I say? It looks as if he's very pinched. He's very pinched. He looks very pained that Shashi Tharoor has gone there and said to the world that we've done something of repute and remarkable.
Which you have always done, Rahul. I think
No. That's a different question. You answer the question. Do you believe that people like Udit Raj, now you said that you have a problem with Mr. Kharge saying what he said. You wouldn't have said it like that, this, that, the other. But he still remains the president of the Congress party at a time when we are telling the world that we have done a lot more. And Pakistan is lying through its teeth. Now when Kharge gets up and says, "Chutput," all the Pakistanis have to do is to point their interlocutors in the direction of Mr. Kharge and say, these Indians are liars. The opposition there says it was chutput. So you're letting down India. Why are you letting down India at a time like this, Mr. Jain? This is a question.
Rahul, Operation Sindoor was a limited military strike, as the Indian government and the DGMO have themselves said. It was not a full-scale war, unlike some members of the BJP.
We're not talking about war here. It doesn't mean that a limited conflict. Hello, sir, do you know that the Israel-Arab war lasted 4 days?
It's not about the length of the days, it's about the extent of the damage.
No, hang on, just a minute. No, please, understand. We hit them where they've never been hit before. Never. Are you saying that is chutput? They've been hit in Rawalpindi.
That's not a war. That's not a war. And again, on Dr. Tharoor's statement,
oh my God.
Key objection that Udit Raj has,
look at this party. Look at this party tonight. It will hair split. It will go into, as Mr. Vora is saying, into semantics to defend the indefensible, viewers. They are spitting. I have to say, they're spitting on the valor of our forces. Do you know what we have achieved?
Dr. Tharoor's statement would do.
Do you know what we've achieved, sir? Mr. Jain, do you know what we've achieved?
Rahul, to say that we never did any surgical strikes before 2014, is that
sir,
not
this is a do I believe the IF? Do I believe the IF that spoke in Parliament, or do I believe you? The IF is on record. They have said no records of any cross LOC strike. Sir, I will show you the reply of the IF in Parliament. Are you saying we are all lying? All Indians sitting here are lying? Just because we have something against the Congress party?
Lieutenant General Hooda is lying. Are you?
He never said that. Please hold up his statement. Please hold up his statement.
Yes, please.
What is he saying? What is he saying? Read the statement.
Don't. Army conducted surgical strikes before PM Modi too. Lieutenant General D.S.
Sir, did we cross the LOC? Did we cross the LOC?
Surgical strikes have to be.
Did we cross the LOC? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. No, it's not necessary. We conducted a surgical strike in the air, through the air, this time, bombed Pak bases without crossing the LOC. Do you not understand? My God, viewers, the illiteracy
The point is about
I don't know what to
attacking
be
the
more
enemy.
appalled by,
No.
the
The
apologist
point is
nature
about
of the
attacking
Congress
enemy.
or the illiteracy of the Congress. You decide, viewers.
Lieutenant General Hooda.
Anyhow, let me
So
bring in
Lieutenant General Hooda is
Deepak
illiterate also.
Vora. Let me bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Viewers, I wish, Ambassador Saab, I just wish that we realize that when we were singled out, by Pakistan, we were singled out as a people, as Indians. And if we were singled out as Indians, we should respond as Indians. We can't be responding as Congressis and this and that and Samajwadi Party walas and leftists. I mean, come on. Come on, Ambassador. What do you make of this? I mean, I'm shocked.
Well, thank you very much, son. Always a pleasure to be on your channel, and I listen to you, I learn a lot. We're not trained to comment on the internal political debates and discussions that take place within the country. With that, we deal with international issues. Let me put it across to you. So when I joined the Foreign Service in 1973, we used to have this thing, the Ministry of External Affairs doesn't agree with this, Defense Ministry doesn't, etc. We had these silos. Then along comes the present regime with a hammer and breaks those silos. So it becomes an all-of-government approach. And more recently, I'm seeing an all-of-country approach, an all-of-people approach. Three things stand out in my mind. The strikes we did before the present government came to power. Surgical strike by definition means you go in quickly, you do something, you don't incur any damage yourself and you come away. That's the definition, the technical definition in military terms. So what I have seen, sir, three things as far as this is concerned. Sir, privileged to be special advisor to three African governments, and all three, either the defense ministers or people from senior positions came back and said, well done, you did it, whatever you had been saying that you would do, because that international comprehensive convention against international terrorism has been hanging on in the 80-year-old UN. For 30 years, we've not been able to do anything. And then Prime Minister made it very clear in Bihar that we'll do it alone. He didn't say Pakistan. He just said, we'll find these terrorists wherever they are. We'll pursue them to the end of the earth and we'll bring them, we'll give them their deserts. We'll destroy them. Now, that was greatly appreciated because, sir, 193 members, this is a statistic worth noting. 193 members of the UN, over 100, as per the latest global terror tracker index, over 100 suffer from terrorism. And of that 100, 90% is jihadi terrorism. Now, you like it, you don't like it, it's up to you. I'm only quoting the figures that have been done by the Terror Tracker Index. So the first thing was that we showed the world that we are capable of going it alone, which is what the Prime Minister had spoken in English. That's a very powerful message. Yeah. That now I'm not going to go to uncle and say, I used to do that when I was posted in Washington. Look at these terrible fellows, what they're doing. Uncle, listen to me.
So, Ambassador Saab, then why is the Congress going out on a limb to make... Well, you see, the point is, if you undermine, let's say you're a diplomat representing our country. Now, if I start criticizing you, I undermine your credentials.
I'm finished, no? Then there's nothing I can do.
You have nothing you can do because the people you're trying to convince will say, excuse me, you have zero, integrity.
Oh, but that's happened to us. It's good when I go and tell country X that, look, we have done this and we are united. They have actually turned around, some of them, in my career and said, but your own opposition fellows or politicians or whoever are saying the opposite. Why should we believe you, Mr. Ambassador? It undermines my own credibility. But when we present a united front, that the whole country says this was a bad thing these guys did and we have to thrash them, then that is greatly appreciated. Second message that we have given is, of course, the quality of our equipment. There is no question about... sir, I was told by a senior military officer that 27 countries, amazing, want to buy, including one of the three countries I represent. He asked me, Ambassador, where can I get the BrahMos? So I said, well, go buy it on Amazon if you want the BrahMos. I mean, it was meant to be a joke as far as my response. But they're looking at it. They're looking at the superiority of Indian equipment.
No, and we've now been able to sell equipment to about 90 countries.
We are, you're so right. And the final thing was, sir, I'm asked this question sometimes, well, who stood up with us? What do you want them to stand up for? When the Iran-Iraq war took place, we didn't take sides. Ukraine-Russia war, we don't take sides. We don't stand up and say, okay, I'm on your side. Even though we have excellent relations with Armenia, during the Armenia-Azeri war, so I was your ambassador in Armenia, we don't take sides. This gives us a certain credibility. I don't like the term, but the moral high ground, because I'm not choosing. It's your conflict, and I want you to stop that conflict. But when I'm hit, then I must hit back.
Absolutely.
Sir, Hindi mein, there's something I want to say to the millions of people. Sir, you are insanely popular. You're much younger than I am. I'm 74. Let me just tell you, ये अकेला देश है, sir, which I tell my foreign colleagues. हम लोग पुराने शास्त्रों की भी पूजा करते हैं, हम शस्त्रों की भी पूजा करते हैं. It's an amazing civilization, and now they are beginning to understand India will not offer the other cheek when it's hit. It will smash your face.
Viewers, the credibility of the message. The message will be as credible as the person who's delivering the message. If you're going to shoot that person, the messenger, as they say, the message is going to be bullet ridden. Let me tell you. And that's what the Congress is doing. And they're doing it, viewers. They can score a few political points. Look at this UBT party. UBT party. It's a small party, viewers. Got thrashed in the Maharashtra elections. Thrashed. It's a party of dynasts. But it was founded by a man, viewers, who bled for this country. Let me tell you. Its successors, and Shazia Elmi will bear me out on this one, because that's a point that some of the BJP people have made. Its successors are flushing the national cause down the toilet, viewers. And we have CS Jha here. And just let me tell you, Mr. Jain, that the Army Director General of Military Operations, please check this out. And you can look at this on August 28, 2017, so much before Balakot. An RTI response. The DGMO said a surgical strike was carried out on September 29th, 2016. He's talking about Uri. This section does not maintain records of any other surgical strikes, if any conducted earlier, unquote. If any conducted earlier.
Rahul, because a lot of things are not done
so
officially.
Viewers, let me tell you. Let me tell you, 1 second. I only know one person. See, he's bringing out Huda. 1 second. General Huda, very respectable man. No, hang on. But there was a man. There was an air chief. There was an air chief called Fali Major. There was an air chief called Fali Major. And you know what Fali Major said, viewers? Now, you choose who you want to believe, Huda or Fali Major. He said, after 26/11. Listen to me. After
Operation Ginger.
Mr. Jain,
no, I'm not talking about General Huda now. I'm not
one
talking
second.
about General Huda.
After 26/11, there was a gentleman who basically was told, there's the Prime Minister of this country, who was told that, look, we are ready to strike across the LOC. Surgical strikes. Yes. The Air Force is ready. But viewers, Fali Major, Air Marshal Fali Major, the IF chief said that I wasn't given clearance. So if a country can't avenge one of the biggest terror strikes on its soil, then viewers, what were they avenging before that? Why would they have needed to cross the LOC? I don't know, to be honest. I know they crossed the LOC to eat biryani in Lahore and to go and hug that other reprobate, that general of theirs, before this Munir chap.
December 2015.
So I remember one Sidhu character who you all watch, viewers, give him massive ratings. He makes a lot of money. He went and hugged one of those Pakistani generals. Can you believe it, viewers? The main general who was plotting terror. And all of you watch him as if he's the gospel. And you chuckle at his jokes. And you make him successful. You make him earn money off you when they go and hug the Pakistanis. Any tweet from him, viewers, recently? Look it up. Anyhow. Mr. Jha, I want to ask you a question. No, 1 second, Mr. Jain. I understand, sir. Look, I'm not on that point. Yes, you conducted many surgical strikes. You blasted Pakistan out of the water, conceded. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. I promise you, I agree with you, sir. Nothing.
Indian Army conducted.
I agree with you, sir. I am saying I'm laying down my metaphorical arms and saying agreed. But what then? What then? Why do you go after Tharoor? That's the question you need to answer. What is the bee in your bonnet about Tharoor? He's representing your country. He's speaking and talking up the valor of your armed forces.
Anyhow, I think it's quite shameful.
Yes. Let me just quickly bring in CS Jha. And yes,
really shameful.
Yeah, Shazia, tell me.
You know, it's totally not done. One of their own who's talking about the country, stating matters factually, as we all should. And he is being mocked and he's being reprimanded, so to speak, and he's being told off only because he's fact-checking Rahul Gandhi. And this grand old party has reduced itself to a little army of trolls. You know, they become like the fifth column in the Spanish Civil War. The people who lived within the country and worked against the interests of the country, they were known as the fifth column. Yeah, and I feel so sad that, you know, it's clearly what Congress has become. It's so unfortunate that they're really behaving like a sleeper cell of the Sino-Pak propaganda and disinformation war, and are actually trying to bandy around narrative that suits Pakistan more than it suits India. In fact, they try to undermine Indian sovereignty when they keep on harping on the Donald Trump and the mediation matter and what have you. And there Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tiwari go there and with complete clarity, and we are proud of the fact that we have parliamentarians in this country who are beyond party politics, who do not care, and what is most important is facts and our sovereignty, and how the world should know the truth and fight the disinformation that Pakistan is very good at, and they have, of course, people backing them.
Mr.
A lot of people don't want India to do well. But
Mr. Jha, is the UBT also?
I think it's really...
Yeah. No, I understand the point you're making. You're making that point. You're saying that
somebody like Udit Raj should be thrown out of the party.
No, but he's being blessed. You see, there is another chap who was the OSD to Sheila Dikshit, who's never really, who doesn't know much about government, doesn't know much about anything really. And Ambassador Saab here talked about the whole of government, the whole of India approach. These guys have the intellectual breadth doesn't exist. One guy says to us right now on the show that, look, you have to cross the LOC to carry out precision strikes. They don't understand. They don't understand, viewers. They are just taught like parrots. They are sent here. But Mr. Jha, okay, sir, I agreed. I'm saying you have conducted. Sir, you have got back Lahore for us. You have got back Bangladesh for us. You're a great lot of people. But still, sir, answer my question.
Operation Ginger cross LOC strikes. Why are you criticizing it like a high school student? I really don't understand.
I'm saying, sir, you're right. I'm saying you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, sir. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. 1 minute, CS Jha.
Rahul, I very well understand what you're doing, trying to act like a high school student, trying to be all sarcastic and stuff. But 2011 Operation Ginger was a cross LOC 2011 strike called Operation Ginger, and this is then Foreign Secretary S. Jaishankar saying the same thing. Cross LOC strikes are not new. October 2016. Hindu article.
Sir, cross LOC strikes. Sir, you lob a bomb across the LOC. It's a cross LOC strike. We are talking about incursion and operations on the ground. Anyhow, please.
The army crossed the LOC, beheaded 3 army soldiers, brought their heads back. They beheaded 3 army soldiers and brought their heads and insignia back. Operation Ginger 2011.
Okay, sir, you are absolutely right. Fine, I concede the point. Why are you going on and on? We are talking about Mr. Tharoor and your unsavory attack on Mr. Tharoor. If you want to divert, you can go ahead, divert, sir. I'll give you 3, 5 stars, 7 stars. You'll get 150 more votes, more seats. You'll get 250. You rule this country. That's fine. Great. But I'm asking Mr. Jha, you're parroting Pakistan's script. That's the overwhelming, and Ishkan Bhandari is listening very carefully to your response. Yes. That's the overwhelming perception, whether you like it or not. Why are you parroting Pakistan's script sitting in this country? Why is Sanjay Rao doing it, Mr. Jha?
We are not parroting the Pakistan's stance in our country. And what we are saying, particularly in the country, the Operation Sindoor has been carried out. It's a great thing which has been carried out. See, in Congress era, we had fought many wars. And it is not an undeclared war, but it's an undeclared war which has happened in Operation Sindoor. We are not against it, and we are not saying anything against it. But what we have achieved, we are also asking what we have achieved. And we are asking pertinent questions about the achievements of the Operation Sindoor.
Just a minute. CS Jha Saab, this is the statement of Mr. Sanjay Raut. Operation Sindoor was a failure. This is exact. There it is. Operation Sindoor is a failure. We in opposition refrain from talking about it, keeping in mind the interest of the nation. What is he saying, viewers?
Shame.
Read between the lines. कि हमने तो बात ही नहीं करनी. इतना failure operation था because we don't want to talk about it. हम अपने देश की लाज रखना चाहते हैं. patronizing manner.
If you are asking for a failure,
is this viewers a statement of an Indian leader?
Yes, this is a statement in regard to achievement which has been done in the Operation Sindoor, and we are questioning.
So he's saying it's a failure. It is a failure, he's saying.
The emergent meeting in the parliament has never been called on.
He said it's a failure. No, forget about that emergent meeting in parliament. 1 second, Ishkan Bhandari, their problem is that we should have a tamasha in parliament. Let's waste taxpayers' money a little bit more. We don't believe the DGMO because Mr. Jain doesn't. Jain, RTI has come out.
What BJP is doing?
1 second, RTI was filed to the DGMO. DGMO responds. The military can't be believed. We have to believe some other people. Anyhow, very quickly, Ishkan Bhandari, the fact is, do you believe, and I'm sorry I've come to you so late, but you had to establish some red lines on this debate. So Ishkan Bhandari, what do you make of the Congress party's pain, the India bloc's pain today? Shashi Tharoor is articulating a point, they have a problem with it. Why?
See, Congress party's pain was felt what was happening in Palestine. You had people carrying a bag, a famous bag, right, in the parliament. But after Pahalgam, did you see a similar bag? So you see where the pain point lies. And that is the entire problem. Mr. Tharoor, Mr. Tiwari, Mr. Khurshid. Anyways, Mr. Tharoor's time was limited the minute he decided to challenge the dynasty and think that on merit he can contest an open, fair election in which the dynasty has not blessed him. And the results are very clear. Slowly or later faster, he will be marginalized and he will not have a long survival in Congress. That's a given. That's a long history. We don't need to repeat the names of all those people who have left Congress the minute they tried to do something for themselves outside the patronage of the dynasty. What is the worrisome part here is, the minute you start mocking Mr. Tharoor or anybody speaking for India, you mock India's cause. We had on this panel somebody saying we are exaggerating the damage. The good ambassador says how other countries are wanting to buy our weapons, but we have Indians saying our weapons were not effective enough. The damage we caused was not enough. We are exaggerating it. We did not break Chinese defenses. We did not precision hit Pakistani air bases. It is all exaggeration. Everything you speak in today's environment is carried globally. We live in the... Don't interrupt, Rahul. I had my say now. I need to speak this. So every small thing you do, including saying our army did not do enough, is going to harm India's interest. And when you do it at a time of war, what was India's interest? A laundry list you read in the beginning of the program, Rahul. I advise the viewers to rewatch it, because even today, while we were having war with Pakistan, we were giving them water. It is only now we have stopped the water, and the consequences of that are going to be felt. But if you want to supply water to those who want our blood, then of course you'll have a problem. And what is Chota Mota strike, Mr. Kharge says? Of course, Rahul, it's right. He's not wrong. I fully agree with him. If after 26/11 you did not feel the need to do anything, you will of course find what this government does as Chota Mota, because you have to justify your inaction.
Absolutely.
Because there is no reason, no debate, no sense where them hitting our mainland in Mumbai, financial capital, hotels, people staying there, and you did nothing to teach them a lesson, can be justified except to demean all the efforts of our armed forces today. Our armed forces were capable in Mumbai. Rahul, just last point. Our armed forces were capable of teaching Pakistan a lesson during 26/11. They are capable today. Only difference is political will and political go-ahead.
And on the other side, viewers, political insecurity. That's what it is. Political insecurity is forcing the Congress to punish, ridicule a patriot. Is that the real reason? That's a question I leave for you to ponder. I just want to move on, viewers, because this Operation Sindoor is not over. Don't make the mistake. And we're going to be joined by General Dhillon. We also have Ambassador Deepak Vohra with us. Now, viewers, what is happening tomorrow is an important day. Amid an uneasy peace and heightened tension between India and Pakistan, the centre has announced that civil defence mock drills are set to begin again. Only this time in 4 states bordering Pakistan, which is Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, as well as Jammu and Kashmir. Additionally, the Haryana government is also set to conduct a major statewide civil defence exercise named Operation Shield tomorrow, across all 22 districts from 5 p.m. onwards, to enhance the state's emergency preparedness and response capacities. The announcement has come even as the DG BSF revealed on Wednesday that Pakistan had begun to reload terror launch pads across the LOC and IB with the express purpose of pushing infiltrators into India. Listen to this, viewers.
इस प्रकार की इनपुट्स है कि दुश्मन को जो भारी नुकसान पहुंचा है, तो उसका बदला लेने के लिए वो फिर घुसपैठ या उसकी जैसी क्रॉस बॉर्डर फायरिंग जैसी किसी प्लान को वो अंजाम दे सकते हैं.
दुश्मन की जो एक्टिविटी होती है उन चीज़ों को दोबारा रिस्टोर करता है। जितने भी इनके जो तंजीम हैं, जितने भी इनके टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, एकदम डिस्ट्रक्शन के बाद भी दोबारा ये अपने को रिऑर्ग करते हैं। तो हम ये कह सकें कि आने वाले टाइम में फिर इन्होंने दोबारा रिऑर्ग होना है और फिर कोई इस टाइप की एक्टिविटी करनी है, तो हमारी उन पर पैनी नज़र है। हमारी रिसोर्स से इंफॉर्मेशन मिलती रहती है हमको, और वो कोशिश हम यही करते हैं कि इनको जो है नोटिस में रखें, और कोई ऐसा एक्शन पर, जैसे सर ने बताया प्रीएम्प्टिव एक्शन के लिए, उन चीज़ों के लिए हम हमेशा तैयार रहते हैं।
Ready for preemptive action. Viewers, we discussed it last night. Should we do it? Should we not? Will it be seen as an escalation? Remember, we've drawn a red line for the Pakistanis, and General Dylan is here with us. We've said that any act of terror on our side is going to be an act of war, allowing India to respond in any manner of its own choosing, and that the operation is not still over. So I just want to bring in very quickly General Dylan. General Dylan and Ambassador Vora, do you believe that Pakistan is still not deterred to the point where it should be, and therefore another Indo-Pak clash is inevitable in the near future, perhaps? What is your reading?
Rahul, is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Rahul, good evening, and good evening to Ambassador Vora and all your audience. We must understand one thing. Pakistan, after having got such a beating, where the precision ammunition hit their terror camps, terror hubs, terror headquarters, and their air bases, which is there for world to see. The videos on YouTube by local Pakistani people, and still they're celebrating, we're distributing sweets on the streets of Lahore and Islamabad and claiming victory. Now, if this is the country we're dealing with, and do you think they're going to give up terror? No way. I'm very sure, because that is the only thing which keeps them afloat within their own country. That is the only thing which keeps the Pakistan army's, supremacy alive. That's the only thing which keeps the public's attention away from poverty. That's the only thing which keeps the public's attention away from their poor politics, poor military, poor diplomacy. So this is what they're going to do, and they're going to do it again. That is why Operation Sindoor is still not over, and the citizens are requested to carry out the mock drills tomorrow, so that in case Pakistan tries anything similar, we are duty bound and honor bound to hit back, and hit back harder. And that is the case. The Operation Sindoor is on. All our forces are on 100% alert and ready, including the paramilitary forces. We just heard the DGBSF. So this is just a point which we are looking at Pakistan. And in my wisdom, my own opinion, Pakistan is not going to give up on terror, and he is going to try something again. And this time he is going to get a bloodier nose.
A bloodier nose. Is there space, Ambassador Vora? Is there space? What happens? I have to ask you this, because look, war is never an ideal situation.
Sure.
But I don't think the war clouds have disseminated, have they? Dispersed, that is.
No, not at all. Give me a moment. I'll very quickly explain to you the book that is here on the table with me. It's called Pakistan, a Hard Country, by someone I know, Anatole Liv, and he spent many years in Pakistan. He's now a professor of international relations and terrorism somewhere in London. I know the fellow.
Can I have a look at it?
Surely.
Yeah.
And what he's talked about, it's a very sympathetic book to Pakistan, but he says, Pakistan, a hard country, he says, two things are very clear. The territory of Pakistan cannot support the population. It's growing at an alarming rate. So the best way, if you can't reduce your birth rate, make sure your people die. Recruit them into the jihadi nonsense. And the second thing is the water thing that he has talked about. He said very clearly that Pakistan's ultimate nightmare is India stops the water flow. This book is 2011, long before we did the thing on the Indus Water Treaty. That is why that buffoon, Mad Mullah Munir, talks of Kashmir being the jugular vein. The fool doesn't understand, if the jugular is in my hand and I squeeze it, it'll stop the flow of blood to his brain, if he has any brain. But he's an ass, that fellow, completely. So this is what has the reality of Pakistan. And General Saab is absolutely right. They are not going to learn a lesson. General Saab, when I joined the service, for many years we were trained to believe that Pakistan's stability was very important for India. I now say, sir, it was total nonsense. Pakistan's breakup is very important, not just for India, but for the world. See, the defense minister had said, I'm putting Pakistan on notice that you're on probation. That was a message to the people of Pakistan. Second, he said, Pakistan's nuclear weapon should be under international supervision. Sir, that was a very powerful statement that the IAEA or whoever takes it over, because what he's telling the West, all of these countries have suffered Islamic terrorism, right, sir? All of them. over 100 countries, all of the Western European countries. He's telling them, don't be surprised if the Pakistanis give their nuclear, whatever, a smart bomb, dirty bomb, whatever, to one of the jihadi tanzeems and you suffer. Therefore, denuclearize Pakistan. That is the clear message being given. And I believe the Prime Minister now saying it so clearly, reaching out to the people of Pakistan, the children. Sir, I've seen revolutions in countries where I've served. I've seen in Sudan, I've seen in Zimbabwe, I've seen Burkina Faso, I've seen in Ethiopia. I've seen it in Tunisia. 1 man, 2 men, 3 young people go out onto the streets. I've seen it in Egypt. Go out onto the streets, do something, and the tsunami then follows. This is what he is telling the people of Pakistan. Take back your future. The biggest enemy of your country, he couldn't have said it more clearly, is your military.
So General, very quickly, because I don't have much time, and I know that you are pressed for it too. I just want to ask you, sir, how imminent is the threat? Yes, Pakistan hasn't changed its colors, but if it retaliates, what is the time frame? Because it still has to get its house in order. It's been in an advanced state of disrepair. By when would it be ready to be adventurous again or misadventurous again?
Rahul, believing Pakistan or trusting Pakistan or having faith on Pakistan's ability to think rationally, act rationally is as good as the second which has just gone by. And the next second which is coming, you cannot trust this group of people to be rational in their behavior. That's what Ambassador Varma said. The world is now worried about the terror emanating from this fountainhead and the nuclear weapons in this country going into the hands of even more irresponsible people. Now that is the concern. So I don't give even I won't even bet 1 paisa on Pakistan's rationality.
Oh, and wow.
May I just say, General Saab, when my mother Bharat has children like you, we sleep safely, sir.
We sleep
Thank you very much, General Saab, for the service you have rendered.
Thank you, sir. It's the soldiers, the Jawans who are there on the border the whole night, the day in and day out. Salute them, salute their valor, salute their families who have produced such Jawans and who are supporting such Jawans.
And let me also tell you, viewers, a lot of them were Agniveers, the same program that was being opposed. Don't forget that. Anyhow, viewers, let's move on because we're going to now look a little domestically. Again, viewers, I'm a patriot. I like my country to be one, united all the time, especially in times such as this. The recent fiery linguistic row ignited by this man in the middle of your screens, actor, politician Kamal Hassan, who claimed that Kannada is a derivative of Tamil, has rightly singed the India bloc. For far too long, the opposition alliance has been playing with fire of an incendiary brand of parochial caste and language politics. More on this a little later, but first, Hasaan, who is a constituent of the India alliance in Tamil Nadu, has been recently in the forefront of heaping hate on Hindi and making snide comments against North Indian parties. In his zeal to score a few more brownie points with his nativist Tamil vote bank, he made the cardinal error of diminishing the prestige of Kannada, the language. Listen in, viewers.
இது அந்த ஊரில் இருக்கும் என் குடும்பம். அதனால தான் அவர் இங்கே வந்திருக்காரு. அதனால தான் நான் பேச்சை ஆரம்பிக்கும் பொழுது நான் உயிரே உறவே தமிழே என்று ஆரம்பித்தேன். அதில் தமிழிலிருந்து பிறந்தது தான் உங்கள் பாஷையும். அதனால் நீங்களும் அதில் உட்படுவீர்கள்.
Viewers, Hasaan's comment has rightly sparked outrage across Karnataka, with the state's Congress Chief Minister and government both aligned with the same India alliance, forced to publicly rebuke their own ally. One would have thought he would have backed off, apologized and moved on, but he isn't. He's come out and in fact dug his heels in. He says they are confusing the issue. What I said was out of love, with lessons from historians. Tamil Nadu is a very rare state where a Menon has been a CM, a Reddy has been a CM, a Kannada has also been CM. Politicians are not qualified to talk about language. I will not apologize for something I said out of love, unquote. Now, Hassan's linguistic chauvinism has not only insulted the cultural pride of millions of Kannadigas, but has also put the Karnataka Congress government in a politically untenable position. The episode is not just an embarrassing internal rift, it is symptomatic of the India bloc's larger ideological failure. The India alliance has from its very inception leaned heavily on identity-driven regionalist and often casteist rhetoric that fragments rather than unifies, often playing one region, language or community against another in the pursuit, viewers, of short-term electoral gains. The irony is thick. A coalition that routinely accuses others of dividing India now finds itself hoist on its own petard, undone by the very tactics it championed. The India bloc must reflect seriously on whether it wants to build a cohesive national vision or continue indulging in a politics that breeds division, resentment, and eventual implosion. The country develops better than a coalition that cannot even hold itself together. Let's open this up. I want to go straight across to Syed Asad Abbas, and also, of course, Dushyant Sridhar. Let's bring them all into the frame. Dushyant Sridhar and Syed Abbas. Is Dushyant Sridhar there with us? Because I want to begin the first question with him. Let's go straight across. Dushyant Sridhar, let me ask you this question because it is the only question that matters tonight. If he's there, if I can see him, it'd be great because, viewers, it's a question that needs to be put. And it's a question that needs to be put straightforward. And I have to ask you this. What do you make of Kamal Hassan's statement suggesting that Kannada is a derivative of Tamil? Mr. Sridhar.
Namaskaram, Rahul, and namaskaram to all the CNN News 18 viewers. Well, with respect to your question, there are a few parts in it. One, it is very well known that Kamal Hassan is one of the tallest personalities in the Indian cinema, be it his acting, be it the role of a director, a producer that he has played, and of course a choreographer. He's a master at all of it. That said, when it comes to statements and when it comes to statements that concern culture, languages and religion, it is a very well known fact even amongst his, the larger base that he often gives statements that are either not comprehensible to the listener or does make statements that lack the academic value in it. Second thing, you did speak about the two languages, Tamil and Kannada. Incidentally, I am a very proud Tamil-speaking Astika, a Bharatiya, who's born and raised in the city of Bangalore, which is a Kannada-speaking region. So both the languages are very close to my heart. And with respect to the statement that he has made, that Kannada is a derivative, which means a subset of the larger set, which is Tamil as a language, is flawed. Because Kannada, be it Hale Kannada, the Kannada that was during the medieval ages, and then the Nutana Kannada that we all speak, all of it traces some linguistic experts say that it goes back to over 2000 plus years. So we get to know that there is an influence of the Tamil language, there is an influence of the Prakrit language, there is an influence of the Sanskritam language. So it has been influenced by a lot of languages. But to say that Kannada is a subset of Tamil, he's just parroting what Sri E.V. Ramaswamy Nayakar of the Dravidian movement had to say.
Okay, so
he did
just
say
hold your
that
thoughts.
there is only one mother called the Dravidian mother, and she has given birth to Tamil, and the other languages spoken in the south are just other forms of Tamil.
Okay, so just hold your thoughts there. Let me bring in Mr. Abbas. 1 second. Let me bring in Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas, look, you've heard Dushyant Sridhar there very clearly, but I have to ask you. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah says people living in Karnataka should learn Kannada. No language other than Kannada. This is what he said. It's right here, sir. It's a headline in a newspaper. It quotes him. This article written on the 21st of June, 2024. Karishma Pranav Bhavsar has written this. And Karnataka CM Siddaramaiah urged all residents to speak only Kannada, emphasizing the importance of protecting the language, land and water. Of course, nothing can be argued about that. But he is also a chauvinist, a language chauvinist. He's saying so. He says people living in Karnataka should learn Karnataka, no other language than Kannada. So I have to ask you, sir. Now, what I feel. Now, look, I am not here taking up cudgels for Mr. Hassan. What I think he has said is very wrong. First of all, I just want to put that. But, sir, this is poetic justice in some ways. You started this fire of regionalism, identity politics. Now someone is paying you back in your own coin. It's not the BJP, so you can't say very much. It is from your sister alliance in Tamil Nadu. Kamal Hassan, who's going to be a Rajya Sabha MP, sit in your section or your side of the treasury of the opposition benches, argue your point, but has contempt for your language. That's very weird.
That's a very important question that you've asked. I will definitely address it. Firstly, Rahul Saab, I think being a Kannadiga all my life, a proud Indian from the state of Karnataka, it's very important to bring in this point that Kannada as a language is a sovereign and a classical Dravidian language with its own independent history, grammar, and literary tradition.
True.
I am glad that Kamal Hassan ji has agreed that he is not qualified to make a statement. He was overriding on emotion. The fact of the matter is, beat King Nrupatunga, beat Beluru Mailaraya Shri, along with that Naga Varma, are all legends of the Kannada language, including Rashtrakavi Kuempu. The statement made by Kamal Hassan is absolutely historically inaccurate. Linguist historians will not agree with him. So therefore, celebrities like him must and should be careful. Next question. I'm glad that you've addressed this question. A lot of my friends from the north of India who are residing here in Karnataka, especially Bengaluru, a city like Bengaluru, which is a melting pot of various cultures, people coming from the length and breadth of India and the world. If you ask me, is it important to learn the language of Kannada? I would say it is yes. It is a very, very important life skill. Let me quote my dear friend, Mr.
But
Mohandas
Mr. Abbas,
Pai.
please allow me. That's not my question. My question is, see, when politicians play with emotions and emotional issues like language, identity, caste, etc., then it backfires because you're going to be cut down by your own sword, and that's exactly what has happened. Kamala Hassan has come back and hit you with the same missile that you have been using against others. You now want people, and listen, I'm part Kannadiga. Hang on, let me just tell you.
I'm aware of that.
So you know that, right?
Yes.
Now, I've been saying, and I'm a minority voice, that this is going too far, right? A melting pot like Bengaluru can't have all of this language parochialism. Please, no one is disrespecting anybody. Let's speak.
I will answer that.
I'm not saying go speak Hindi. I'm not saying go speak English. I'm just saying that don't force other people.
I agree to you.
Don't bully
them. It's a burning
them.
question. You're asking questions where lakhs of Bangaloreans are asking.
Yes.
Many of my friends have been asking me the same thing.
Yes.
Why is it that they feel that Kannada is being imposed? हाथ जोड़ के मैं कहना चाहूंगा हमारे तमाम दोस्तों से, मोहनदास पाई ने इस बात का ट्वीट भी किया है, स्टेटमेंट भी दिया है. What he has said is, please learn 200 words of Kannada.
Oh, fine. I agree with you, Mr. Abbas, but you have to tell me tonight, and you're a Congress supporter, so I have to ask you, do you think the Congress has made a mistake and brought this upon itself? Please, just answer this question, and I'll terminate the interview and I'll move on.
Siddaramaiah ji is one of the most prominent leaders and advocate of the language of Kannada, including Mr. Mohandas Pai and several other leaders from Whitefield.
I know it's difficult for you to answer this question in yes or no terms.
That it is sacrosanct to learn Kannada.
Agreed.
For
I'm not disputing that point. I think we're speaking the same language here, thankfully. But viewers, the fundamental point is not that. The fundamental point is that when you keep provoking others, when you practice the politics of othering, one second. When you practice the politics of othering, viewers, you're exposing yourself. And that is exactly what's happened. Dushyant Sridhar, very quickly to you, do you think that the India bloc has been answered now in its own coin, paid back in its own coin? Very quickly, poetic justice.
Rahul, with respect to the India bloc question that you have, honestly, I am not any party spokesperson, and I am neither a political analyst, so I shouldn't be talking about this. But yes, with certain Dravidian parties in the state of Tamil Nadu, which have espousing for a very long time about the separate identity, to single out the Tamil culture from Sanatana Dharma, calling Sanatana Dharma by various names, and making fun of Sanskritam, or for that matter any language, and calling people of other people who speak the other languages as Pani Puri Walas, has been in the vogue, and
has been. Okay,
the statement by
I'll leave it at this. I'll leave it at this. I think a lot has been said tonight. This is the rub of it. This is the rub of it. You see, viewers, when you when you practice the politics of othering others, it's going to come back and bite you. It was okay when it was South versus North. Now it's South versus South, and there's a problem because there are two parties from the same alliance that are now at loggerheads over a language issue. What are we doing to ourselves as a nation? What are we doing to ourselves as a nation, viewers? Those terrorists didn't kill us asking us whether you're Tamil or you're Kannada or you're from Bengal. They asked you if you were a Hindu, for example, and they killed you there. That was it. They were only interested in your larger identity. I'll leave it at this, viewers.
Presented by This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Alipurduar in West Bengal, Minister Udayan Guha has sparked a political firestorm with a controversial remark about Operation Sindoor. Udayan Guha, the Minister of North Bengal Development and a key Mamata Banerjee ally, has said that Operation Sindoor is being sold as a business. Someone who used to sell hot tea is now selling hot sindoor. The BJP has strongly condemned Guha's remarks, calling them an insult to the martyrs of the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam and a disrespect to India's armed forces. The party demanded Mamata Banerjee take immediate action and remove Guha from her cabinet, citing concerns over national security in the strategically sensitive North Bengal region. Listen in.
কেউ কেউ আগে হয়তো চায়ের ব্যবসা করতেন, এখন তারা কেউ কেউ হয়তো সিঁদুরের ব্যবসা করছেন। আগে গরম চা বিক্রি করতেন, এখন গরম সিঁদুর তাদের রক্তের মধ্যে দিয়ে বয়ে যাচ্ছে। সেই সিঁদুর বিক্রি করবার জন্য একেবারে উত্তরবঙ্গের আলিপুরদুয়ার পর্যন্ত ছুটে আসছেন। কিন্তু আমার বক্তব্যটা হচ্ছে যে এইভাবে মানুষের মধ্যে বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করবেন না। মানুষের মধ্যে বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দিয়ে, ধর্মীয় বিষ ঢুকিয়ে দিয়ে মানুষে মানুষে বিভাজন তৈরি করবার চেষ্টা করবেন না। গরম চা বিক্রি করতেন, এখন তিনি গরম সিঁদুর বিক্রি করবার চেষ্টা করছেন। আমরা ওই ধরনের ব্যবসা করার জন্য এটা করি না। আমাদের কথা হচ্ছে সাম্প্রদায়িক সম্প্রীতিকে রক্ষা করতে হবে, মানুষকে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যেতে হবে। যারা মারা গেছেন তাদের মধ্যে তো আদিল শেখ ছিল, তারপরে ওই ঝন্টু শেখ ছিল, সবার কথাই তো ভাবতে হবে।
Kamalika Sen Gupta joins me with more perspective on the broadcast. Kamalika, just ahead of Prime Minister's visit to Bengal, how will Guha's remarks be perceived? Also, this when the TMC had largely stayed united with India as far as our armed forces are concerned.
This is a very responsible comment as stated by the BJP. BJP is going to take this issue up, that's very sure. And this is a place which is absolutely in the border. It's Cooch Behar is absolutely in the bordering area of Bangladesh. And tomorrow the Prime Minister is supposed to come. Here, the Udayan Guha, we have spoken to Udayan Guha, and though he does not want to comment right now on this, but he accepted what he said. He has said that the BJP, the Prime Minister Modi, is trying to take political advantage of it and trying to sell it. Now, this type of comment is absolutely uncalled for, as stated by BJP, when the entire their party is supporting the cause, and also none other than their National General Secretary is been travelling and telling people about what has happened and taking the obviously presenting the India facts. There is a demand of a parliamentary session. That's the party stand, that there should be a parliamentary session and they should come up that, why this happened, and other details should come up in the parliament. That is the demand that Mamata Banerjee has also been placed. But this type of comments, that is something which is uncalled for. Till now there has been no official reaction of Trinamool Congress, but then whether Trinamool Congress does something, anything, or cautions him or not, that is to be seen. Definitely this is one issue which will be picked up during the election also, because Bengal election is year after. But the thing is that at present situation, this type of comments are uncalled for. That's what experts are saying, and that too from a place which is absolutely located in the border, and when none other than the Prime Minister is coming tomorrow.
Many thanks to you, Kamalika, for bringing us all those inputs. And as Kamalika was highlighting that the BJP has already criticized Guha's comments, let's listen in to how Shahzad Poonawala of the BJP has reacted.
On one hand, TMC says that it is with the country, it is with the armed forces, it is the one which is supporting Operation Sindoor. But on the other hand, its tall leader Udayan Guha, who's a serial offender, with the comments he's made on women, on doctors who were protesting during the Arjikar case, says that Operation Sindoor is being sold. Sindoor is being sold as a business. He also makes comments on the humble background of Prime Minister, who was a chaiwala. This shows not just the elitist mindset of the TMC, it also shows the mindset to attack the Sena's manobal. And this is not a Sanyog, it is not a Prayog, it is Sahyog to Pakistan, to attack the manobal of the forces. Congress has made these statements calling it Chutput. Then we have seen how it was compared to Operation Blue Star. Then we have been seeing how the statements have been made to undermine the Indian forces. We have seen how Pakistan is being given clean chit. And now the TMC makes this kind of comment on Operation Sindoor, disrespecting the bravery of our soldiers. It has become the part and parcel of TMC's politics because they put vote niti and also they put parivar niti above Rashtra niti. And therefore, Mr. Udayan Guha has made this statement. TMC should immediately act on Udayan Guha and should show that they stand with the armed forces.
Hello, Namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. He started with the promise of peace in 24 hours. It's been 4 months, no peace or peace deal in Ukraine. Instead, there are threats of World War III. How did Donald Trump manage that? Is the war escalating and what does it mean for the world? Tonight, we'll discuss that. We'll also tell you a story that Washington wants to play down. How they suffered big losses in the Red Sea against the Houthi rebels and how it forced their chaotic exit. Meanwhile, in India, defense stocks continue to surge. Some have seen a 50% rally in 3 months. We will decode the trend for you. Also in focus, as the US pauses student visas, what's in store for the international students who are heading to American universities? Is the Trump-Musk bromance over? Why is the Tesla CEO slamming Trump's bill? And who is benefiting from the US president's policies? America faces recession. Global economies are hit by his tariffs, but Trump's wealth has doubled in the last 1 year. Bangladesh is in turmoil, but the so-called caretaker Mohammad Yunus is off to Japan for a 4-day trip. Why Canada is essential for the US Golden Dome plan, why tech layoffs are surging across the world again, and what's with the creatine rage. All this and more coming up. The headlines first. Israel denies its soldiers fired at civilians at an aid distribution point in Gaza, claims those were only warning shots. Nearly 50 people were injured in the incident, which has sparked global condemnation. This comes as Israel confirms that they have killed Mohammed Sinwar. He was the presumed leader of Hamas in Gaza after his brother Yahya Sinwar was killed in October last year. Iran says it may consider allowing US inspectors with the United Nations nuclear watchdog to inspect its facilities, but only if a deal is reached with Washington. Since April, Iran and the US have held 5 rounds of nuclear talks, but Tehran has repeatedly said that its uranium enrichment is non-negotiable. A Cambodian soldier is killed in a border clash with the Thai army. It's a rare fatality in a long, sensitive frontier region. The Thai army claimed that the Cambodian soldiers opened fire first and said the ceasefire lasted for 10 minutes before Phnom Penh requested a ceasefire. The Czech Republic summons the Chinese ambassador over a cyber attack that targeted Prague's foreign ministry. The Czech Republic says a China-linked group was behind this attack. In recent months, Prague has angered Beijing by fostering close ties with Taiwan. This is the latest incident of malicious cyber activity stemming from China. And thunderstorms trigger flash floods and landslides in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. At least 10 people have been killed, more than 40 injured. Several homes have been destroyed, and central and northern parts of the country have been hit. The weather is unlikely to improve until Saturday. 2 hours. That's how long Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone. That call happened last Monday. Apparently, neither man wanted to hang up. Both of them agreed to push for peace in Ukraine. And days later, look where we are, discussing a third world war. Talk about a roller coaster week. It's gone from peace to global war in just over 7 days. The question is, what went wrong? Has President Trump